Jack, get back. Let's go.
Hi, Didi girl.
No, es un sábado.
Sundays, am I right? So one of the things I forgot about yesterday when I brought this camera with me is that I need filters to film outside because it's super bright, and I left those at home. So I hardly got any footage yesterday. Honestly, I wouldn't have been able to anyway because we had just so much going on. But yeah. Sundays, man. Sundays, reset days. I'm really craving something delicious for lunch or brunch. I don't know. Pancakes involvement. I really have been wanting to watch Lord of the Rings. But yeah, pretty worn out yesterday. We had an engagement shoot, which was awesome. Overall, it was a really cool experience, a lot of fun. We weren't able to get everything that we wanted, so we actually have to do a second session due to weather. We'll have that coming up in probably April. In the meantime, I'm supposed to do 1 rep max testing for deadlift today. Not sure if I am gonna do that or if I'm gonna move it to probably Tuesday. Reason being, yesterday I felt like I strained my elbow again a little bit, just moving through the environment, bracing myself against like rocks and stuff while we were crossing rivers, which was something we were not anticipating, but was part of the adventure and ended up being a lot of fun. So yeah, so I'm thinking of just giving a little bit of a rest today, easing into the next week where I'm going to do kind of a deload week. Got 6 days left, so I'm going to try to stay locked in. So yeah, see how it goes. Well, I was gonna make pancakes rather than go out for me, but I realized I'm missing butter and eggs, so I'll have a watch on. 1:15 with the time change. Pretty late, so this is basically gonna be breakfast for lunch. I guess that's by definition what brunch is, right? I hear that brunch is actually a way for restaurants to get rid of their old expiring product, because if they have too much of surplus from the week, then they serve Saturday and Sunday brunch to get rid of all that excess and use this meal as an excuse for 2 different meals. I believe that's true. Anyways, yeah, butter and eggs. Gotta do it. Like $72 later, we got eggs and butter. First, gotta make some coffee. So we got some whole beans from Papua New Guinea. Doesn't have the roast date on it, so it's not bougie enough for me, but it will have to do. I've been looking for this thing for like a week, and I looked where it normally is and it was not there. I swear it was not there. I asked Sally where it was and she texted me that it was in the spot that it always is, and I was like, nah, it's not there. I looked one more time and it was there, of course. Such is life. Right, so we do this from scratch. I like to do pancakes from scratch because it takes longer and it tastes exactly like the stuff from the box. But you can say that you did it and you can claim it's yours, even though you stole it from Google. I feel like making some, here's some cornbread today too. Had stuff in that cabinet for like years and I still open the wrong cabinet. I'm sure people can relate. Must be science behind it. So now we're gonna sifty. Gonna melt some butter. We're gonna use oat milk. Right. Milk in. It's not really milk, is it? Oat drink, I guess. Tell me why when I'm measuring things out in smaller increments, I can never keep track. Like I completely forgot how many that was just now. So I totally had to stop the video and rewatch how many of these I put in because I literally forgot. Apparently I can't count, which is okay, you know? Always room for improvement. Make our little volcano. I don't think that does anything, but whatever. It's a vibe. Egg. In. And we're there. Right. Okay, what should we do? One big ass pancake or several small ones? Let's do some small ones. All right, while that's rolling, we're gonna get an omelet going. Omelet or scramble? What even is it? We don't know. So I think the difference between an omelet and a scramble is how good you are at making an omelet. So like an omelet is what you always intend to do. And then if you mess up the flip, you just smash it up and just call it a scramble. That is my theory. 2 whole eggs, and we'll probably do 2 egg whites too. Go. I was just walking over here and I noticed that this plate is like bent. How weird. It's like got a little imperfection in it. The one thing about this like little griddle that is tricky is that my burners, the rear ones are smaller than the front ones. And so it's a little tricky to get the heat right. So like those back ones we're not sizzling quite as much. You know, you just have to be basically a master chef in order to accommodate for the shortcoming in the design of this oven. It takes years of practice. I realize I said oven when it's a stove, whatever. So you can see my rear ones are a little bit melanin challenged. Look how fluffy. Okay, taste test. Hot. Hot and delicious. Breakfast at 2 o'clock. 2:44, it's almost 3. All right, I'm gonna be honest, that breakfast was a lot. That was a lot. I think that was like 5 pancakes. But yeah, I gotta move. I can't just sit around the rest of the day after having a huge ass breakfast like that. So I don't have my watch on right now that normally tracks my steps. And I think if I can get somewhere between 7,000 to 8,000 steps for the rest of the day at least, I'll feel a little bit better about the consumption. So when Sully and I got engaged, there was this game that we were playing where you like ask each other questions, the cards give you a question. And long story short, the day after I had planned to propose and didn't because things didn't work out the way I wanted them to, we were playing this game at night. I just felt like, okay, the time's right and I'm gonna do it. And so question came up, and instead of asking the question on the card, you know, I asked her to marry me. And funny enough, when we posted the engagement picture, like kind of announcement thing or whatever online, we posted the card that I had drawn to ask her, and the question was, do you eat differently when your partner is not here? I definitely eat differently in terms of volume. I think I tend to eat bigger meals when I'm alone, but at the same time I also feel like I will do more, get out and move around, get on the bike, go for longer walks. When we're together, yeah, I think it's a little bit more tempered, and I subscribe to portion control a little bit more. You saw when I put up the plate to the camera how big that plate was, and so that was not typical. I mean, I'm like completely stuffed right now, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Man, this time change is gonna be pretty messed up. It's 10:40. I'm just starting to get a little bit nervous, started to get the competition jitters. I'm usually a pretty competitive person, so it's all I think about when the time comes, and so we'll see how it goes. I made it here without any major injuries, knock on wood. Just today I just ended up going for a couple of walks, took the dogs for a walk, and then went back out by myself on an additional walk. I was aiming to get around 7,500, 8,000 steps today, and I was able to get 10,500, so not too bad. And that's after putting on the watch pretty late in the day, like around 3 o'clock, I think. So felt pretty good in terms of keeping my body moving, taking care of the stuff I needed to take care of, get a good start to the week. Already had my ice cream, very important ice cream. And now I'm just relaxing with a cup of sleepy time tea. I even did laundry and put all the laundry away. Can you believe it? Like, that was done by, I don't even know, like before I took the dogs for a walk, I think that was done. So that was pretty impressive. Today I mentioned earlier, like I wanted to watch Lord of the Rings. I said that last weekend too, but I haven't been able to. And actually, I think probably a little bit more productive. Not that watching a movie is non-productive, because I think there's a lot to appreciate. Art, right? It's like a lot to appreciate, unless you're watching like some bubblegum flick or something. But so instead of, you know, losing 3.5 hours to watch Lord of the Rings, I just continued on the audiobook, which I've been working on. I have a couple hours left on that. You know, audiobooks, I feel they're just not the same as regular books. Like, let's be honest, like the feel is different. And then also the imagery. I struggle a lot with imagery when people are telling me stories or reading an audiobook out to me. But if I'm the one reading it, then I'm easily able to create that imagery myself. And I kind of wish that I would just be reading it. But at the same time, I already use those Audible credits, so what can you do? Maybe I'll finish the audiobook, watch the movie, and then read the read the actual book. I've been actually trying to spend a little bit of time right before going to sleep, less on my phone and reading actually printed materials. So I've got a couple subscriptions to like biking magazines and stuff like that, bike packing mags that come out, graphic novels that I haven't finished. But yeah, there's lots of stuff you could pick to fill your time. I mean, there's no shortage of distractions. I think it's important to not feel guilty doing the things that you want to do sometimes. I mean, you know, some people shit on playing video games, but hey, like I said with movies, that's like you're appreciating art, you know, people created that stuff. It's a very interactive thing. You can kind of become part of the art, create experiences that maybe no one else is able to, or no one else has experienced. And it's a lot of like really cool shared storytelling, you know, if you're able to get on games and stuff, play with friends, you know, play something cooperatively, build something together. There's a lot to be said about that. It has its merits too. I think it's time we embrace those things more and be proud of those things, whatever it is for you. Anyways, I'm definitely feeling like I'm winding down, I'm slowing down, which is a good thing. With that said, I think it's time I take these doggies out and call it a night. See if I can crash out in the next 45 minutes or so and get a good solid 7 hours of sleep on a daylight savings day. That's pretty good. So we'll chalk that up as a win. With that, peace out.